Have you noticed something strange lately? Nobody is actually saying no to home ownership anymore. They're saying, not yet, maybe next year, when things settle down, when the numbers make more sense, when it feels safer. And that's not because people don't want a home. It's because for the last few years, the housing market hasn't just been expensive, it's been emotionally exhausting. Every scroll through Zillow feels like a reminder that something might be slipping away. Every headline feels like a warning. Every conversation with friends turns into another round of confusion. And slowly, quietly, people stopped dreaming and started waiting. But here's the part nobody is paying attention to yet. Markets don't change loudly. They change quietly, long before confidence returns. And 2026 is shaping up to be that quiet turning point. Not because prices crash. Not because rates become magical. Not because anything dramatic happens. But because something far more powerful returns. Clarity. Clarity changes how people behave. Clarity changes how people plan. Clarity changes how people move. For the first time in years, the market is becoming predictable again. And predictable markets feel different. You stop doom scrolling Zillow at midnight. You stop guessing. You stop wondering if every decision might ruin your future. You can breathe. You can think. You can actually plan. For years, nothing felt stable. Rates jumped. Prices spiked. Inventory disappeared. Competition felt impossible. The rules changed faster than people could adapt. But now the pace is slowing. The swings are softening. The data is stabilizing, which means buyers can finally plan again instead of guess. And planning is the foundation of confidence. This is the beginning of a normal market, and normal markets are where real people actually win, not flippers, not hedge funds, not panic buyers, real people, people who want a home, not a headline. And this is the moment that quietly starts bringing them back. And here's the psychological shift most people don't realize. Once buyers believe the rules won't change overnight, they stop asking, what if I mess this up? And they start asking, how do I do this the smart way? That's the first door opening, and it opens quietly. And here's where the shift becomes real. For years, buying a home felt like jumping into traffic. You didn't ease in, you didn't test the waters. You just went, you toured a house, you liked it, you panicked, you offered more than you wanted, you hoped it worked out. That wasn't strategy, that was survival. But that emotional environment is fading, and something incredibly important is quietly returning. Choice. Choice changes everything. When you have choice, you stop reacting. You start evaluating. You start comparing. You start making decisions that actually feel like yours. You can pause and say, let's look at 3 more homes. Let's run the numbers again. Let's think about how this fits our life. And suddenly, buying stops feeling like a gamble. It starts feeling like a plan. You can feel the difference in the air when you walk into homes now. Buyers aren't frantic. They're curious. They're thoughtful. They're asking better questions. They're imagining their life there, not just their offer. And here's the powerful part. Negotiation isn't a dirty word anymore. You can ask for help with closing costs. You can ask for repairs. You can ask for time. You can ask for flexibility. Those words used to feel forbidden. Now they feel normal. And normal is exactly what most people have been waiting for. Not perfection. Normal. A market where you can breathe. A market where you can think. A market where you can say yes without feeling like you're about to regret it for 30 years. Now let's talk about something that completely reframes home ownership for this generation. You do not need your forever home. You need your first leverage move. A home that stabilizes your housing cost. A home that builds your equity. A home that gives your future self more options, not fewer. The goal isn't to lock your life into one place forever. The goal is to stop renting your future to uncertainty. And this is why 2026 is quietly powerful. It favors people who think in chapters instead of absolutes. You're not choosing your final destination. You're choosing your next advantage. And that mindset removes so much fear. Because suddenly your decision doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be smart. And smart beats perfect every single time. Hold on, quick break from the video because there is something you absolutely need to know. If you knew there was a way to see the best homes before most buyers even know they exist, would you use it? Because that's exactly what I'm about to show you. Right now, most buyers are scrolling through slow, outdated search sites, completely unaware that the homes they're excited about were already taken days ago, and that's why it feels impossible to stay ahead. But I built a free custom home search that updates faster, filters out junk listings, and shows you only the homes that match your exact budget, area, and must-haves in real time. This is the same tool my clients use to beat cash buyers, investors, and anyone relying on those generic search apps. If you want first access, instant alerts, and the fastest way to find the right home in Colorado, the link is waiting for you in the comments. Go tap it. All right, now let's get back to the video. Now let's talk about the quiet pressure that never makes headlines, but hits your wallet every single year. Rent. It doesn't pause. It doesn't negotiate. It doesn't wait for better conditions. It just keeps moving up, even in slow markets, even in uncertain markets, even when nothing else seems to make sense. And here's the part nobody likes to say out loud. Waiting feels safe, but it quietly raises your cost of living. Every year you wait, your housing payment resets higher. Every year you rent, your future equity resets to zero. And eventually people look up and realize they've been paying more for less, simply because they were trying to avoid risk. Ownership flips that script. Ownership locks your housing cost. Ownership builds equity. Ownership gives your future self leverage instead of limits. And that shift alone changes how people experience their finances, their confidence, and their peace of mind. You're no longer reacting to bills. You're building something. And that's a psychological shift most people underestimate. Now let's talk about something else that's changing quietly, and this one is exciting. The homes you're seeing now are different. Not leftovers, not panic listings, not rushed flips. Real homes, real layouts, real neighborhoods, real opportunity. The kind of homes you can actually imagine your life in. And here's what that changes. You stop scrolling just to look. You start scrolling to plan. You start saying things like, this one could work. We could grow here. This feels right. That's the moment fear turns into vision. Now here's where cycles come in, and this is important. Competition never returns slowly. It returns suddenly. One small rate drop, one positive headline, one shift in public confidence, and suddenly the calm disappears. Not because the market changed, but because people did. The buyers who moved during the quiet window don't feel that pressure. They're already in. They're already building equity. They're already positioned. And everyone else is watching. That's how cycles repeat. Not with noise, with timing. And 2026 sits right in that quiet window. Not the loud comeback. Not the panic phase. The preparation phase. The phase where smart, calm, patient people quietly step into their next chapter. And that's the phase that creates the most confident homeowners you'll ever meet. And here's the part that matters most. Because at the end of the day, this isn't really about interest rates. It's not about headlines. It's not even about timing the market perfectly. It's about how you want your life to feel. Do you want to keep feeling like you're waiting for permission, waiting for clarity, waiting for confidence, waiting for a moment that finally feels safe enough? Or do you want to step into a chapter where your housing cost is stable, your future feels predictable, and your decisions start building something instead of delaying something? Because that's what 2026 quietly represents. Not a boom, not a crash, not a frenzy, a window. A window where fear starts to fade, where planning becomes possible again, where leverage returns to buyers, where normal finally comes back. And normal is where real people win. Not with panic, not with pressure, but with calm, clarity, and confidence. You don't need to rush. You don't need to guess. You don't need to gamble your future on a headline. You just need the right information, the right strategy, and a plan that fits your life, not someone else's. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home in Northern Colorado, I've put together 2 free resources to help you make the right move. Buyers, you can start a free custom home search that shows you the best homes that match what you're looking for way better than Zillow. Sellers, you can get a free home value and pricing strategy so you know exactly what your home could sell for in today's market. You'll find both links at the top, the description. Thanks so much for watching. And if this helped you, be sure to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss future Northern Colorado market updates and home guides.